Today I'm going to talk to you guys about what it takes to build a successful mobile marketing campaign. And it's interesting because just yesterday I had a conversation with an individual that asked me the question, Pat, what's the difference between us and another organization? You know, they offer it for $50 a month and it comes with 1,000 texts, and you know, we have a 99, it comes with 3,000, and so on and so forth. And you know, I'll reflect back to one of my first experiences in mobile. I was at a sports bar and restaurant down in Tampa, Florida, and I was sitting down having a meeting with an individual, and I noticed that there was a small business card on the particular bar of this organization. I asked the bartender, I said, do you guys have a mobile marketing club here? And he said, what's that? And I said, oh, never mind, no big deal. Then I asked for the general manager. I talked to the general manager. The general manager had no idea that they had a mobile marketing club. Well, come to find out, they actually did. The owner of the particular sports bar had hired an organization, bought a mobile marketing account, paid his $100 a month or whatever his package was, but nobody knew in the organization. I found that interesting. There was no signage. There was merely a small business card that said text XYZ to a certain short code, and as a result, I would be willing to bet that that organization did not get any results from their mobile marketing campaign because there was really no opt-in strategy to begin with. The answer to your question, the answer to anybody's question, is what makes us different? It's you. If price were the only determining factor in any sale, there would be no bodies out selling it. It would just simply be a catalog online, and obviously the cheapest bidder will win. I used to use the terminology that price only becomes an issue in the absence of value. So the question now becomes, what value do we bring to the table? And that always will be the advice and the counsel that we provide our clients. And so many times people like to sell a product, a tool, if you will, and they put the tool in the hands of somebody that has no idea how to use it. Inevitably, our goal is not accomplished. We don't get the success for that particular client, nor do we obviously get the long-term goal, which is to build a relationship that will pay you referrals, that will pay you from a monetary perspective long-term for the rest of your career. And that should be your goal, is to serve people. Remember, our goal is to take a client, find out what their needs are, find out what point A looks like, find out what point B looks like for them. Where are they now? Where do they want to go? And how can my products and services, my advice and my counsel become the bridge that will actually get them there? And those are the things we all need to be thinking about. What I've done is I've broken down what I call mobile critical success factors, and these are the things that the organizations that are merely selling mobile marketing on a website or using a call center to just sell the product, and they kind of leave it to people to do all these different things. And as we know, people are busy. Generally speaking, if you put a tool in somebody's hands, at that particular moment, they may have great ideas and they may have all the right intent to actually get these things done, but they inevitably won't. So for every single client that you're dealing with, I want you to be cognizant of the following critical success factors. Number one is buying from the top. If somebody from a line level position is authorized to actually purchase mobile, but the buy-in from the cultural standpoint right from the top isn't there, it's going to be very difficult for number two to happen, which is staff training. Because if it's not law, if it's not part of their culture, people don't have to do things, they certainly won't. Why take the extra time for a server, let's just say, to ask somebody to join their mobile club and receive, a free appetizer, if the owner of that facility is not communicating to their staff that that's absolutely critical and that they have to do that. So getting buy-in from the top becomes a very critical piece, and that's pretty self-explanatory. Staff training is probably one of the more critical pieces, and here's why. It is the daily interaction with their existing customers and getting them to opt into the mobile database that will lead the ability for that facility, whether it's a restaurant, a dry cleaners, or whatever, a dentist, a doctor's office, to reach out to these people and perhaps cross-sell, upsell, or to drive them back a little bit more frequently than they would have had they not had that mobile club. In addition to that, with our Forward to a Friend, it enables, whether it's couponing, appointment reminders, or whatever we're doing from a mobile marketing perspective, it enables our current client base of people that actually get those SMS texts to actually forward those on to their friends and have this thing go viral. If 1,000 people come in, I'll use a restaurant as an example, if 1,000 or 2,000 people come in on a monthly basis, and everybody was asked, would you like a free appetizer? Would you like a free drink? Or would you like free dessert today? inevitably the answer is yes. But if there was knowledge, if the staff actually asked them, we know that roughly 80% of those people will actually take the time to opt into their mobile database, right? But if they're not asked, obviously they won't join. Proper signage is number 3. So we go back, staff training, getting your existing people, getting the staff trained on exactly what to say to make it sound very compelling is going to be critical. So I actually go to the length to actually put a small script together for my particular clients to say, here's the best thing that they can do. Here's a way they can ask where it's very non-evasive. It's not you're not hard closing anybody. You're merely offering this to people. And if the offer is good enough, the people will join. Proper signage is another key element. I'm going to actually show you a couple examples of some of the things that we've done at Spider to make it visible inside a facility. So whether it's a dentist office, a doctor's office, a sports bar, a university, whatever your clients are, if people don't see signage, if they don't see an offer, if there's no visual, if you will, in many cases they won't know about it as well. So making it visible to the clients and patrons that are in those various facilities is going to be an important critical success factor as well. These are all opt-in strategies. So just step 1. We got in our brains, we have step 1 is to help our clients build an effective opt-in strategy. Step 2 is to really teach them how to message, how to send messages. And then step 3 is measuring the results, getting referrals, and upselling them. Integrating it with all media is the 4th critical success factor, and that is making sure if they are doing a radio ad, make sure that radio ad has text whatever to 87804 or 58203, whatever your short code is. If you're doing a newspaper ad, make sure that keyword and short code is in the newspaper ad. If you're putting it on Facebook, make sure that there's opt-in strategies and an offer on your Facebook and Twitter and so on and so forth. Every single advertising dollar that an organization is spending from a marketing perspective should also be tagged with whatever that keyword and short code they have to get additional opt-ins from that campaign. One of the things great things about mobile is if an organization is spending money advertising on TV as well as newspaper as well as magazines, they can establish different keywords for each of those different things, and based on the number of opt-ins they get from each one of those marketing forums that they're using, ideas or concepts, they will know, am I getting more bang for my buck from my radio, from my print, from my TV? It becomes a babysitter. And that is helpful because organizations will clearly begin to know, hey, where am I reaching people? Where am I not? Where should my resources go? Because if I'm getting much greater results from one particular area, I'd rather spend more money and focus on more money and more resources on that area and get rid of the other things that are not yielding great opt-ins from those particular add-ons, whether it's direct mail, print or TV or whatever the case may be. So making sure it's on all media is very important. A proper offer. We all know that this is a couponing age, this is a value age, and that the American consumer truly is looking for a reason to opt in, and it better be a good reason. So on the signage, if there's 2% off today's meal by joining in, me as a customer, I may not opt into that mobile database. If it's $5 off, I certainly will. In addition to that, I think it's important that whether go back to staff training or signage that's on there, it's important to tell the consumer how often you intend on marketing to them. So perhaps on a sign it should say, join XYZ Mobile Club, text X whatever keyword or whatever short code, and receive whatever the offer is. And then on fine print under receive up to, for example, receive up to 4 messages per month, or receive 1 text per month, 1 coupon per month, or 1 per week, whatever it is. Tell the consumer how often you're going to reach out to them so that they don't opt in, get the value, and then hit opt out, press stop. Okay. Having the proper offer is knowing really what is compelling. If I were a consumer, would I opt in? And that's ultimately the question you have to ask your clients. Let me ask you, John, if you were a customer, would you opt in if you were given that? Well, obviously, they're going to be biased. They're going to try to save as much money as they can. In many cases, what's key to teach people is that building a mobile database is probably the biggest initiative that they should have. because from a marketing perspective, as mobile phones are growing, and it becomes really the only avenue where you're guaranteed to be able to reach a gross percentage, in this case 98% of your database, it's going to be important to build it. So if we want to build a mobile database for the purposes of reaching in and grabbing them and pulling them back to our facility, or actually selling them something, which we'll talk about on another tutorial, having a proper offer is there. Timing of the promotion, I'll give you an example. There was a client early on in the game that happens to be a sports bar. They sent a message promoting a Sunday football party on a Tuesday. Not a very good idea. One of the greatest values of mobile marketing is you can give that text and send that blast out in the exact time that they may be thinking about it. So if you're promoting a happy hour from 4 to 7, maybe sending it out at noon or 3 o'clock is a good idea. You know, if you're a retailer, maybe on a Saturday morning is a good idea, because people typically aren't in let's go to the mall today mode until weekend time frame. So the timing and when you're actually targeting them is going to be important. It's going to vary based on the industry that you're in. The value of the promotion, as we kind of discussed, is the proper offer. It kind of ties into the same deal. What is the value that the customer is getting? Is it enticing enough? And I'll give you an example. One of our reps in Florida, in the Panhandle of Fort Walton Beach, Florida, he did an interesting thing with a client of ours. It's the client is Hooters, and Hooters developed a great case study, which we're going to go into the slide. And what he did is he suggested to the owner that they blast a message of all-you-can-eat chicken wings today from 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock. They sent the message at 11 o'clock in the morning. Now, the probability of people being able to react that fast, as say, come in today for all-you-can-eat chicken wings, they knew that they weren't going to get an overhaul of people coming in that particular day eating all-you-can-eat chicken wings. However, what it did is it told the consumer, we are putting valuable stuff, because they're managing their opt-out rates. They're making sure that when people see something, that they're actually saying, hey, this is great. I can't do that right now. I've got things kind of short notice, but this is a really, really good deal. So they did that just to provide that extra value. Yes, people did come in and eat all-you-can-eat chicken wings. It didn't cost the owner of the store very much money, but it was the messaging and the value that was placed on that message. It was just one concept, one idea, so that the mobile club is looked at as what it should be, which is an exclusive mobile club. We're doing this just because you're a mobile club member, and that's kind of the spin you want to put on everything, that this is a VIP service. Here's our regular line if it's a nightclub, let's just say, and here's our mobile club line. And so as people are going into that club and they're getting in there by showing their phones, and the people in this long line are saying, why the heck aren't I on that line? Well, this is our mobile line. You know, it's certainly a great way to get people to opt in, but it's putting the VIP status, which is kind of a takeaway approach. And if you do that, people obviously want things they can't have, and it appeals to that psychology. The frequency of the promotion. One of the things I stop right away is I'm seeing people just blast too much. You know, the reason why email doesn't work today, besides the fact that the spamming laws are preventing it from all the blocks and the filters out there, they're just sending it out too often. The American consumers had enough of the blasting and the spamming and so forth. If you do it too much, you can expect your opt-out rates to go high. So if somebody gets their first blast, if they can clearly identify, hey man, I profited $2,000 from that first blast. Well, the owner of that facility is going to be inclined to do it every single day, right? Thinking, wow, I'll get $2,000 a day. It's 16 grand, or more in a week. I can do this thing every day. So, you know, I want to make sure that that you advise your clients on the frequency, and as well as making sure that the consumer knows how frequently they intend on actually promoting to them. Just a couple examples. What we're doing for Zmobile specifically is creating shelf or stock designs, so that the consumer can save on actual concept design. So these things will be loaded in the back office, so that you can grab them, give them to your client in a PDF form, and they can put their logo in there, and they can put their keyword and their short code, send it to their printer, and have POP, signage, table tents, and so forth made right away. Might be a good idea to establish a relationship with a local printer as well as a local sign company, and perhaps sign them up as a Zmobile, because those are great resources as they're dealing with small businesses on a daily basis.